So circuability, circus for all ages, all abilities. And often when we have people coming to our center, they say, you are a circus school. I say, yes, we are a circus school. You can learn circus skills, juggling, acrobatic, riding unicycle, perform up in the air. But we are not just a circus school teaching circus skills for people of all ages and all abilities. We are also a community circus group. Community circus stands for enriching communities, participating in community lives, and bringing communities together. On top of that, by heart, Circability is a social circus group where we apply circus skills like a tool for the well-being of our people, especially, as you pointed out, for those who may struggle, need an extra hand, feel isolated. This is where circus has proven to be very beneficial. How do you open the door to the magic world of circus? Quite often, when you say circus, people are like, oh, what they see is Cirque du Soleil performers. Amazing skills, techniques, which of course I cannot do. I'm out. I cannot do circus. And it's like, wait. With social circus, we are trained, we're specializing in finding the access point for every person who wants to have a go.
Yeah.
Often when we go to schools and we introducing ourselves, and then the teachers goes us around, we come to the students in a wheelchair, and then the teacher quite often points out, so what could you do with circus here with that person? So that's possibly where it will stop. And then no. Let's look what is the starting point here with that person to have a go at circus. And not just that, also look how then that person, that student, with the skills learned, can be not just part of our performance, maybe even the centerpiece, the highlight of our performance.
Circability has been really, really great for our class. Our class is special needs kids aged 13 to 21 who are often seen as misplaced within the education system. What Circability has allowed them to do is to flourish in their own space using their own skills. So some are non-verbal, some have sensory issues, some have socialisation issues, but within the Circability context, they're all winners, they all flourish at their own level, they're all able to be the best that they can be. Failure isn't something to be scorned or shunned, it's something to be looked forward to and celebrated within the Circability arena. I've had one of our kids turn around and say, we're not getting it wrong, are we, Fire? Because we're on the way to right. Their ability to reason past the failure, their ability to reason past the lack of success, they are very excited by Circability. They see themselves being winners, they see themselves being stars, and within the Circability framework, they're enjoying so much success.
The approach is taken is not formal, but as I said, more on organic things, and out of it builds some sort of ability to cooperate and in fact perform. And that cannot be ever underestimated. And that's what Thomas, April have brought to the party here. And also they visit. We have Kauharangi coming to this school, coming to our classroom. People who might be considered to be successful in their world. And makes them think, well, like Horo here, he can be successful. We can be successful.
Last few weeks when I started Circability, I was into it. I was literally powerful, doing spinning plates, throwing hoops, etc. It's it's really awesome to just to go through it for the last few years doing Circability has been a very good experience, and I'm excited to do more Circability stuff in the future.
Here in Kitea, for those who have missed it, yesterday we were out in the public, bringing the groups we are working with in Kitea out in a public space. So we had our kindergarten kids there, we had our rest home artists there, our school students, people from community groups, And we started, we have had our program, and guess who were the last ones to leave? Switzer Rest Home. We do good work, we know that. Organize funding so that those people have the access to come and join. Number one. Number two, then of course with Circus, it might be dangerous, but we have a health and safety plan and training in place that we can offer that in a safe way. But another safe way, also in regards to access, is a cultural safe space. There's actually not much engagement there in the world of Circus with Maori Pacifica. When we were then reaching out through our work in schools, with community organizations, would be good to incorporate that more into our work, have that present, being aware of what Pacifica culture, Maori culture, what treasure it is, and how can we incorporate that into our work, and the other way around. There was a bit of a, what is this, what is this, what is this, what is this from both sides. And that's when we said, oh, what we now need is a come together.
I saw there's a lot of crossover between the disciplines of traditionally European and American circus and the disciplines of Te Ao Māori, which both involve a lot of fitness, a lot of impressive feats like acrobats designed to increase one's strength, speed, coordination, agility, flexibility, and balance, and so many other qualities, particularly working in groups, working in teams, and all for the purpose of entertainment whilst telling a story, or at least telling the audience a bit about oneself, who one is and where one is from. We are in this super global society thanks to the internet, where we get to see each other's cultures or each other's way of life as a form of shorthand on whatever platform you operate on, be it on YouTube, on Facebook, or with the younger generation, TikTok, whereas the attention span gets shorter and shorter. And in those times, the onus and the pressure is on us to come up with creative ways to summarize ourselves. Just making something visible is a very good start, because then that means that it's more talked about, and hopefully it is talked about in a manner of more positive desire to learn it, because you have to look no further than comment threads, various online comment threads of different articles such as Te Ao Māori News, and find that there's still a lot of blowback against it. So though we are in a much better place than we were around 30 years ago, there's still a lot of pushing to do before it becomes fully accepted as the norm across all parts of this country. We've got a lot of trauma that comes with that. We've got a lot of intergenerational trauma. There are people that are still alive today that are just above my generation and beyond that can recall being beaten as a child for speaking te reo in their schools. So they will have lost their ability to speak, and the kaupapa of today is to try to bring it back to them without reactivating any past trauma, and that involves a lot of delicate steps to be taken, and that will involve being able to embrace them, being able to awhi them with all the manaakitaka required to learn.
So a program like this actually gives us opportunities, and it gives us another step forward to where we want to be. I want to see myself in a happy community where I can share all my mātauranga, my knowledge and tikanga with my family and those around me.
To start off, I'm part Pacific myself, I'm Pacific Māori, and I understand the background where they're coming from. As a Pacific kids are brought up a little bit different to the European kids, where you're taught to be very humble. You're taught not to like the spotlight, and you're taught to take the background. So it's very hard for the Pacifica kids to stand out in the school education system here in New Zealand, where a lot of the kids are very upfront and very proud of their talents. And this is the friction we have at the moment, because Pacifica kids are taught to stay in the back and not to speak out, and they often get lost in these classrooms where the teachers, it's not the teacher's fault, but the teachers just interpret this quietness and this humbleness as not being as good or intelligent as everyone else in that classroom. And because of this, because there's so many kids in these classrooms, they tend to get left behind or hidden or not picked for certain roles. And then in doing this, it feeds these youths whakamā, their inner self-anger and their anger towards society itself, because they know deep down that they're just as good, but they don't have the tools, they haven't been taught those tools to express that. So with Circus Ability, we teach them juggling, hula hooping, all sorts of different skills. And once they learn these skills, it's an instant gratification where, actually, I am just as good as this guy next to me. And that gives them that inner pride. And you see that within them, because once they get that pride where they are at the same level as the non-Pacific, non-Māori, then you can see that they, in their head, in their heart, they know that they're just as good. And that's where they excel in these classes, where once they learn that skill, they practice and practice and practice to make sure that they keep that skill up. And that is the most beautiful thing you could ever see, is these kids' boundaries falling.
That moment of achievement, if I could capture the essence of that moment of achievement, I think I would be rich. It's the most magical moment to see their eyes light up, the smile on their face, the wow, I just did that, I did it, and it's such a celebration. And I like to celebrate with the kids that with every little step of achievement that they make. It's just beautiful.
What we now need is a come together. A
Yes.
hui of circus people, Maori leaders, to show on stage, look at this is how it looks, have workshops where we can experience by ourselves, Maorato, yes, this is what is involved, this is how it feels, that's why we do it. But then also having our leaders on one table, so this is how I see it, this is where we are coming from. If we want to look into the future, what might be good to do is this or that, and get a bit of a feeling, a bit of an action plan coming up. Whatever you want to achieve, if you do it right, you are so much more effective and having impact if you do it together. Having a good creative space to reach out from, to connect, set the foundations, to grow and connect those communities.